Welcome to the Betway Summer Cup Day. The second race on the card is the Betway Conditional Maiden Plate. It's run over 1160 metres. Note that number 2, Frank Robinson's horse, unfortunately has come out. Leaves you with 7 of them that will go up the straight 1160 metres. On the Friday when doing the show, Virgin River. Well, can Virgin River get it right now? Tops the boards at 2-1. Favourite number 15 on the card. 6 Dual Prophecy for Joe Somers. Second choice at 4-1 must have a serious claim. And the other one, Sean Terry's horse, Midwinter Wind, must have a serious chance too at 5-1. The race, Darren Burrows, does appear to rest between those three, is from what I can see.
Yes, Clyde. It is a competitive race because they're all very lightly raced. But Midwinter Wind, I thought the first choice in the race because he did run third on debut. There was market support. He's drawn towards the outside of the track, and he could be the horse to beat. Now, Danger's Dual Prophecy. He is drawn 1, but I think he'll be competitive and mastership of the rest.
Okay, thank you for that summary. And as far as the second, it's a bipot. Remember, the pools are going to be big, so we work out bipots. Daryl, you ready for Betway Summer Cup?
I am. Are
Good.
you?
I'm ready. Looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great day.
All of us, the Waited to Win team's going to be there. Darren's going to be there. Daryl, myself. So we look forward to seeing you. You've got a bipot worked out for us. First leg of the bipot, what would you do?
I nearly banked the 15, the filly. Clyde, she's a 4-year-old filly. Excuse me. And she gets 1.5 kilograms from the 3-year-old colts and geldings. Very impressed with her return last time out. She met a filly that could be well above average. Mr. Terry will have a good line because the filly beat her, and he obviously trains number 8 over here, Midwinter Wind. Clyde, excuse me, Clyde. You know, Mr. Terry was interviewed after Midwinter Wind's race, and he said he expected more from him, and he's drawn towards the right side. So I'm favouring him over Dual Prophecy just because of the draw.
Yeah.
But I do. I'm in the camp of the filly, Virgin River. You know, I had a look at her time. She would have finished 3 lengths off William Robertson at level weights. I thought that's a cracking effort. There was 8 lengths back to the third place runner. So 15 from 8 for me, Clyde.
Interesting. I remember seeing Dual Prophecy in the ring. Beautiful horse.
Not further, Clyde.
Maybe further. Maybe.
Further and the draw.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
All right. And Sean Terry's quite confident with his horse. Virgin Alec, I mean, that stable's very strong. So, yeah, it's going to be a good start. Good race to the start of the bipot. Here is the exotic. First leg, 8 and 15, by 3 and 7, by 2, 5 and 11, by 3 and 5, by 1, 2, 3, 10, by 1, 2, 3, 5 and 7. So this is the Betway Summer Cup Consolation now over the 2,000 metres. They'll have a field of 9 of them that go to the gate. And market, Betway's got this horse Street Art top of the boards at 7-2. Second choice Pyromaniac, who's priced up at around 4-1. Then you can get 4-1 the third choice, Perfect Witness, and maybe Gilded Butterfly worth referencing to, is at 9-2. Daryl, place accumulator time. There's a lot of talk for Street Art. I'm of the view that he's a lovely horse and is only going to get better.
Wonderful race for him, Clyde. Meets Perfect Witness, 4.5 kilograms better off. Having his peak run, great preparation. I think everything's in his favour to just about get it right. I actually think he'll start short in the market, closer to 2-1. Excuse me, Clyde.
So he'll shorten from 7
I
to
believe
2
so.
to 1, huh? Yeah, I think you're right.
I like Pyromaniac's return. He tries 10 furlongs again, Clyde. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but you must remember he's a 5-year-old Silvana colt or gelding now. He won his first 2 starts as a juvenile, and he's only a 3-time winner. So everyone's expected more from him. But I liked his return last time out, and if ridden patiently, he could be Street Art's biggest danger.
Yeah, okay, he's got Richard in the saddle. He's a big runner, this horse. Pyromaniac. Darren Burrows, what do you make of it?
Clyde, I thought Street Art definitely the horse to beat. If you look at his last start, he's 4.5 kilos better off with Perfect Witness for a length beating. And he's got a handy galloping weight. The stable's in hot form and he's drawn 1. So he'll probably go to the front or sit second and give that winning kick the final 300. Perfect Witness comes into the race with a big chance. You've got Pyromaniac. He's been very disappointing after his 3-year-old career. And then a horse like River Romeo and Gilded Butterfly.
Okay, River Romeo and Gilded Butterfly also not out of it. Here's the place accumulator. Daryl's Bankering Street Art by 2, 5 and 11, by 3 and 5, by 1, 3 and 10, by 1, 5 and 7, by 1 and 5, by 7, 8, 9 and 11. Okay, welcome back. Good to have you with us. Now this is the big one. It's a pick start of the pick six, and there's already a good few million in there. The prediction is a 10 million rand pick six pool. So you've got to play. It's small percentage, 1%, as long as you get some of the action. And it's the new turf carriers merchants. It's over 1160 meters. Where the favourite here at even money is number 5, Main Defender. They're quite confident they'll win. 2 Dice is a lovely horse, 7-2. We saw Lucky's stable come back to form, winning on Thursday. And number 6, Captain Hindsight, is priced up at 8-1. It's 14-1 and better about the others. Is Main Defender your banker, Mr. Burrows? You're on mute, sir. You're on mute.
Yes, Clyde. I've included both Main Defender and Dice in my play. I think Main Defender, very good horse. He's won 2 from 2 after a break, and he's having his peak run. And then Dice, done nothing wrong after his break. And I think he's going to rate a big danger to Main Defender.
Yeah, he beat Captain Hindsight and I Am Giant very convincingly, and he's a big runner, Dice. And Main Defender has just been in terrific form. I mean, he represents Sandringham Summit. Give me another chance. The Africa House. Are you bankering that in the pick six?
No. Yeah, Clyde, interesting that they've come back in trip with Main Defender. They're obviously using his speed. You can't really fault him, other than he did have a tough race last time out, didn't he, Clyde?
Yeah.
They went Tame and Tongs.
Well, then the same applies for Sandringham Summit later.
Yeah,
huh?
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a bit of I would say a 7 furlong specialist, a 1400 meter specialist, taking on what could be a sprinter in Dice, who's been ultra impressive. Now, Dice, Clyde, he's actually worse off at the weights with Captain Hindsight. But I think Tony will have a little bit of a line with Captain Hindsight and Main Defender. So my concern with Dice is there isn't much pace up the inside. To pull him through. He needs to get cover and relax. So that's my concern with him. I don't think the race stops there, to be honest. I've thrown in a little bit of loony, Clyde. Have a look at this. Number 11, Ultra Magnus. Now, I know he's getting long in the tooth, but have a look at his preparation. I think he's come on nicely in his second run. He's always had this race in mind. He won this race 3 years ago, so he's no stranger to the Turffontein 1160. He's only got 52 to shoulder. I think if there is going to be a bit of an upset, I don't know if he can win it, but I think if you're playing trifectas and quartets, you'll certainly boost that dividend.
Yeah, if you're going past Main Defender and Dice, well then there may be even a few more that you have to include. All right, so we've got Darren's pick six for you. This is what he was worked out. He's going just the 2 and 5 in the first leg, Dice and Main Defender. Then 1, 3, 5, 9 and 10 in the second leg of the pick six. His banker is Sandringham Summit. He doesn't want to know about any of that. Then he's going 1, 2, 3, 5, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15, 17 and 20 in race 7, the Betway Summer Cup. Then he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7. And the last leg is going 7, 14, 15 and 16. For 264 Rand, you can get 10%. Whatever you can afford, you must have a ticket in this 10 million Rand pick six. Okay, this is the Betway Phillies Mile. It's an interesting race. I just want to look at Betway's market quickly and get an idea what they're doing in this race. Over this, 3 White Pearl, favourites 3-1, 33-10, 1 Egyptian Mile, 7-2 about number 10, Gimme Another, And 15-2 about a horse called Ivy League. 8 in bed of the others. Mike de Kock, when I chatted to him on the Betway panel, just asked him, apart from the Summer Cup race, what's next? He says, my horse is in the Phillies mile.
Yeah, I think White Pearl's a big play here, Clyde. Last time out, she was drawn 1. And that meant she was exposed a long way from home because she hit the front a long way out. So she had she had the others to fend off.
Yeah.
Sure, Clyde. So, excuse me, maybe with a bit more restraint and a bit more patience. I certainly don't believe the mile's going to be an issue, but I think if she can just get a little bit of cover herself, we could see her reverse the form with the Egyptian Mile. Now, prior to that race, Egyptian Mile, the pre-race comments were negative, and she's got a wide draw. So I'm in the favour of White Pearl reversing that form, but I can't believe the current price of Ivy League. I watched that race, Clyde, gained through the 400. She was flat-footed. She's going to love the extra furlong or 200 meters. She's having her peak run. She's got the draw in her favor this time round. And because it's a mile, I actually think she represents a lot of value, and she's going to be my clear first choice ahead of the likes of 3 from 1.
You're talking about my horse?
Ivy League. Is it yours?
No.
It's Lance Michaels.
No. Didn't I tell you about Ivy League 2 runs ago?
What price is she?
7-8-1.
That's a huge price.
Right, Mr. Burrows, what's happening?
Clyde, I thought it could be a tricky race, but the Cock's got a very strong hand with White Pearl and that filly, Give Me Another. Now, Give Me Another, she's very well bred. She is entered for the Cape Phillies Guineas, so they obviously rate her quite highly. And she's unbeaten 2 from 2. She couldn't do more than win both her starts. This is a step up in class, but she's got the draw in her favour, and I think she's a massive runner. Now, you've got that form line behind Egyptian Mao, where White Pearl ran 2nd, Ivy League ran 4th, and Let's Go Now ran 3rd. So they were all within 2.5 lengths of each other. And I think White Pearl could have their beating this time around with Stratum Up and Third Run After a Rest. But I've included all of those horses that I've mentioned.
Thank you so much. And there are a few of them going this distance for the first time. 1, 3, 5, 9, 10. First leg of Darren's jackpot. So that goes into the play. Banker 1. Then the Betway Summer Cup horses. 1, 2, 3, 5, 9, 10, 12 and 13, 15, 17 and 20. And the last leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Time now for the Johnson Workwear Dingans. It's a Group 2. It's over the mile. It's always a great race every single year when all of the 3-year-olds come together and they take each other on. And it does make for a cracking race this year too. Sandringham Summit had a tough race last time, but he ran his heart out, and he's a very, very good horse. He's priced up at 11 to 20. Some are saying he's too short. I don't know about that. 2 Purple Pitcher is at 6 to 1, who's a highly rated horse by the yard. This horse, Give Me Another Chance, number 3, highly rated, 7 to 1. And they bet 14 to 1, horse like Guy Gibson, currently 14 to 1. Darren, so what's your intention with Sandringham? I see in some of your play are you looking for a result?
Not at all, Clyde. I think he's a penalty kick in this company. The only thing that could stop him is the second run after a race, rest. But I'm sure they would have freshened him up nicely for this race. I think he's a serious contender if he even goes for the Met as a 3-year-old with bottom weight. I think he's that good. And I'll be very shocked if he doesn't win this by more than 3 lengths.
Okay, so you're really keen on Sandringham. Daryl, you're not so sure?
I'm not sure because of that very hard race he had and his second run after rest. Clyde, if the game was that easy, we'd be driving the Bentleys and the bookies would be driving Etios's.
Sure.
Yeah, but I actually think his draw is in his favour. He's better probably off the pace. So he's a lovely horse and I'd love to see him win. I just haven't bankered him.
Okay, what are the
Purple
dangers?
Pitcher, Very impressed with his latest victory. I actually went with Jordan with that 7.5 kilogram pull in the weight, so he impressed me. Give me another chance. I know he's out at the weights with Sandringham and held, but he's had a great prep, Clyde. Always a positive when you go into a race, having your peak run. And then one horse that's clearly held at the weights and on paper is the Africa House. But Clyde, if there's one horse that's had a interrupted career, never ever had things go his own way, it's the Africa House. So yeah, you got Richard Free from a one draw in the Dingans. Trust me, if he gets the run of the race, don't be surprised to see him fight out the finish.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's going to be right there, the Africa House. Certainly not without a chance at all. And, well, Sandringham Summit for Darren and a few for Daryl. This was also came back, I think, that Frank Robinson has taken his chances. Thank you, Frank. Well done. Let's have a look at the bets, what we recommend. Daryl Marie says, let's take trifectas here. And what are we doing? We're boxing them. 1, 2, 3, and 10. Okay, time now for our big one, the Betway Summer Cup. There's 5 million rand. There's 20,000 rand a groom. 25,000 rand a groom, was it? But you know what I mean.
Now you're pushing it.
No, I'm just saying, you know what I mean. That represents a horse. What a great initiative. Now let's talk what's going to win the Betway Summer Cup. You heard on the panel what Sean Terry, Mike de Kock, Gabriel Simon, Jonathan Bloomberg like. Now we want to hear what Darren Burrows likes. And of course, Daryl Marie, where number 2, Winchester 3, Winchester Mansion is 5-1. Number 1, Porto Menzano is 6-1. Number 2, Cousin Casey is 13-2. And number 13, Atticus Finch is at 7-1. 5, Bless My Stars, 15-2. I just want to see any more betting. Double figures about the others. I don't know how much volume is in the market. I haven't followed it closely enough and watched shortened. But Mr. Burrows, tell me now, you've been talking about Zeus for a couple of months.
Yes, Clyde, when we had that evening with the draws, I did fancy Zeus. He was then trading at 25-1, and I couldn't believe the price after he drew 4, and they were still offering 25-1. So I have tipped him to thousands of people already, and he's shortened into 10-1 now. I think he's a serious runner because the 2,000 meters on the stand side track is a testing 2,000 meters. And he stays 2,600 quite comfortably. So I think he can just sit a couple of lengths off them, and I think he'll be motoring home and just keep on gaining on the field. So he's my value in the race. Now, Porto Manzano is a big runner. Last time out, he travelled 3 wide around the bend. So how he won, I don't know. That was a cracking effort. I don't like Cousin Casey, I have to be honest. I know he may be working like a steam train. I don't like that they put the blinkers on him because I thought he may just over-race with the blinkers over a testing trip. So I thought he was more of a miler. I could be completely wrong, as you know, racing can be. But I'm not including Cousin Casey in my first 7 choices. Winchester Mansion's a massive runner on his comeback run. Bless My Stars has a good draw. She can just get into a good position and finish her race off strongly. Others to consider, a horse like Son of Raj. I think he's also a sneaker in the pack at a big price. Atticus Finch, another one, and Electric Gold. So it gets tricky, but I'm in Zeus's camp all the way.
Okay, just to let you know that they've taken blinkers off Cousin Casey now, so that I'm not so sure it's going to change your mind too much, but just so that you're aware, the blinkers have come off. Daryl, your version?
And the blinkers have come off Safe Passage as well.
Safe Passage, that's right. What's your version?
I think you have to take a stance between the Allied Steel Road One Mission Mile, Charity Mile, and the Betway Victory Moon.
Yeah. Mark de Kock says the Charity Mile form line's better.
Yeah, me too. I agree with him. I thought Porto Manzano's victory was sensational, Clyde.
Yeah.
At Turffontein, he's absolutely at his best, and he's basically the champion on this track and trip. So I think he's a lovely preparation. He's going to be the horse to beat. Mm-hmm. Respect for Cousin Casey, respect for Bless My Stars, respect for Winchester Mansion. And if you're playing trifectas and quartets, Clyde, safe passage. I know he's let the side down on numerous occasions, but have a look at the weights with Atticus Finch.
Yeah.
He surely, I mean, Mark de Kock's not going to keep this horse in training just for fun.
Yeah.
He knows that he is capable of producing in such an event like the Betway Summer Cup. So don't be surprised to see him bounce back to some sort of form.
He said something about a fracture when he took him to the Cape. There was some problem, but he also said he'd just would like to have him one more run. Just one more run, he would have been very confident. Anyway, let's see. What's our selections here, guys, from Weighted to Win? It's Darren Burrows' slide they're putting up, and he says Zeus, number 15, who was, I think, any price when they first priced up. I think any price. But now he's shortened, as you heard from Darren, into 10 to 1. Time to move on. Welcome back, everybody. Race number 8 on the card. This is the long distance race. It's always a lovely race, over 3,200 meters. And Sean Terry, when I chatted with him, he was quite confident about Nabras. He said the horse is well. They give it a serious chance and hoping that Nabras will get it right. Now, Nabras, who's top of the boards at 28 to 10 when we did this on Friday. 2 Blackthorn is 7 to 2. And that also Ramagam is the third choice. And it's priced up at 7 to 2. There is one other, Flying Bull, 7 to 2. Daryl, Marie?
Yeah. I'm all about preparation, and Nabras has had the perfect one, Clyde. He stays all day. Peak run, best weighted. Certainly the horse to beat, so I like his chances. Breeze Over interests me. Now, this horse has got a bit of a mind of his own.
Yeah.
But have a look what weights he's shouldering. He's got 50 to shoulder, Clyde, so I think Moosey's going to let him stride. I know he's out at the weights, but I think the penny may have dropped in his latest victory, and I think the further they go, the better for him. He has been over 3,000 in the past, and that was a few runs ago. I'm sure he's strengthened up by now. And if Moosey can get his fractions right up front, I certainly see him fighting at the finish. The race doesn't stop there for me. I give chances to all of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but I've got a preference for Nabras and Breeze Over.
Right.
Obviously, we saw that form line being franked.
Breeze Over, they kept the blinkers on, eh?
Yes.
Still got blinkers on, yeah. Yeah, the form line's been franked, and it's going to be a good race. I just think the confidence was quite high about Nabras, so I'm quite keen on that. Mr. Burrows, which one?
Clyde, I played the safe route here. I've gone Nabras. I think he's a massive runner. He's had the 2 comeback runs, and they weren't bad. They were fair runs. He is getting a bit long in the tooth. He's 7 years old, turning 8. But, stayers can pretty much go on till 8, 9 years old, because we see it in the UK, the hurdlers and the chasers, they go on up until 12 years old. The stamina's there. So Nabras is a massive runner. Breeze Over, only 50 kilos to shoulder, must be right there with that kind of weight. Flying Bull has found his best form of late. He's a strong front runner, and I think he's a serious runner here. Of the rest, Blackthorn and Arumagam.
Okay. That's the situation with regards to our selections. Thanks, Darren. Daryl Marie's got a double for us. In this, he's going 1 and 5. And in the next, he's going 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, and 16. This is the Joburg Tourism Carry on Alice Stakes. Now, if you're running in the pick 6 this last leg, it's a large field. You want, I would imagine, a number of horses. They bet 9 to 2 the field. Mrs. Browning, number 7 on the card, is 9 to 2. 16, See an Enemy, is 7 to 1. 2, Alula Star, is 8 to 1. And then you can get 12 to 1 and better about the other, Daryl. So, yeah, I like Mrs. Browning, but I suppose there may be a few that you've got to include, yeah.
Yeah, Clyde, she's a very consistent filly. She's going to run her heart out. Well weighted, drawn on the right side. I'll give her winning claims. Cold odds there. Course in distance unbeaten. Also drawn on the right side. Maybe found 1,000 too short last time out. Winning chance. I'm actually going for a filly who's out at the weights. Astor. And she actually picked up a penalty for running 5th in her latest start, Clyde. But if you watch that race, her stride was broken at a crucial stage. And thereafter, she was staying on in the latter stages. I think the 1160 is going to be perfect for her. 50-40 shoulder. Big runner, Clyde.
Okay.
Open.
Is open. What price is iStar, Daryl?
12 to 1.
12 to 1. That's a big price, isn't it? Lovely. Your stable's very well. Right, Mr. Burrows, the last word from you.
Clyde, I like this filly, Mrs. Browning, quite a lot. You know, she's best over 1,200 meters. I know she won over 1450 beating Simple, but she had to win that day just on class alone. She's drawn hard up on the outside. Richard Forey's going to give her every chance. And I think 9 to 2 and 8 to 10, 4 places, she'll be right there. Now, if you're looking for dangers, see an enemy. She's also drawn middle outside. Her comeback, her last start over 1,200 meters, she took off to win. I think testing 1160, I think she'll be right involved in the finish. And then Troppo Veloci. This filly's well above average, but I don't know if she sees more than 1,000 meters. So that's the question mark. If she sees it out, she could run them over. And then Good Queen Bess, I'm expecting big improvement. So I made it between 7, 14, 15, and 16, and I don't see anything else getting involved.
And okay, Darren, you got Mrs. Browning as the each-way play in the 9th race here at Turffontein. Right, that's the Betway weighted to win. Thank you all very much. Hope it's been a pleasant day. Those who've watched this on the YouTube channel that have joined our WhatsApp group and get access to it early, may you have a pleasant afternoon's racing. And those that are watching it live, again, trust it's been a good one for you.